What's up, Lemon Heads? Welcome to another episode of From the Yellow Chair. I'm Crystal, and today I'm talking about something that really is not that big of a secret, but sometimes I feel like y'all just need to hear it, right? You just need to hear it one more time. But today we're going to talk about why brand reputation beats quick win marketing tactics every single time, whether you're in HVAC, plumbing, electrical, roofing, pest control, and honestly, the list goes on and on. This episode is definitely for you to kick you back around to understanding the importance of brand reputation. Let's talk about what it really means to build a brand that people trust and how that trust turns into long term foundational success. Let's go. Let's sip some lemonade. All right, so here's the good news, and the bad news at the same time, right? So homeowners don't plan to really need us. They're reacting to a problem. They've come home and there's water everywhere. Toilets won't flush, right? There's roaches, ants, a wasp. There is a roof leak. There is 105 degrees in my house when I get home from work, and I really have little kids, and I don't want to deal with all of these problems, right? So they don't plan to really need us. They're reacting to a problem, an emergency, an issue, right? So, in that moment of stress and urgency and slight panic, I don't always believe that they just go out researching like 5, 10, 15 companies. What they do is they go to the one trusted source, right? In their mind, they need to think if they can immediately think of someone, or they run to Google, right? So, what we have to do is be where the people are. But if we can build a solid, memorable brand, and this is why I say dig your well before you're thirsty, right? Dig your well before you're thirsty, meaning you have to be working on people years in advance before they're actually going to use your company, before they need your company. All of us that are in time of need service based industry, they don't need us all the time, right? So, like those of you, I feel like you're lucky if you get to market like an item or a boutique or, something fun, vacation spots, because people are choosing that. People do not want to choose us, right? They do not want to be in the predicament that has got them where they are. So, I know that I have to work extra hard to build brand identity and brand authority and brand trust throughout my marketing tactics, throughout my marketing strategy is brand building so that I am the one, I want to be the only one that they know and trust to get things done whenever those problems arrive. And so you have to work harder. It is expensive. It is a long-term investment. It's a marathon strategy, but it works. It works. And this is why it's important to have both of these things running at the same time, both a long-term strategy for brand building and just building authority in the marketplace and those things, along with an aggressive strategy for grabbing up low hanging fruit and leads that are running through. So that's why marketing is not cut and dry. Made a post about it the other day. It's not cut and dry. If anything, it's super complex to keep up with all these moving pieces, all the new things that are coming in. Everybody's panicking right now. Like, what are we going to do about AI? If you're not using AI, you're left behind. If you don't have a really good brain, you're left behind. If you're not doing PPC, you're left behind. Why are you not rehashing? Are you doing email mark? All of those things. And I just want to tell you, all marketing works when you have the right intentionality, especially if you have a really good brand. So listen, that back to that homeowner who's in that moment of stress and urgency, they're going to someone that they know and trust. And the decision is not often made with logic. It's definitely made with emotion of who they've engaged with, who they've built a rapport with, who they feel like they know is quote unquote their pest control guy, their HVAC guy, right? So being top of mind and being trusted is key. And it comes from brand awareness, visibility, and consistency, aka spending that money even when you don't want to keep things moving around. So, trust over tactics, right? We have to have this trust over tactics mentality. So, what do I mean? Crystal, what the heck do you mean trust over tactics? It's tempting to really only rely on, like, oh my gosh, okay, I've got a good cheap coupon here. I've got a one-time promo. Listen, your girl loves some promos. Okay. Love some gift with purchases, little coupons, love those things. But remember, it's like icing on the cake to the foundational things that you're doing. So those of you, if you are listening right now and you're a contractor and you are building a business, understand that your brand is your foundational success. Everything else that we do for a marketing strategy, including different advertising tactics, community support, social media, rehashing existing client base, all of those things, those are icing on the cake. Most of y'all don't, you ain't even got a cake. You're icing like my little kids do when I volunteer in church. They're icing all over the table because they really ain't got a cookie that then ate it and smashed it. And so some of you don't even have a cake for us to put icing on because you've not built a brand. You thought you called yourself successful when you had a logo and you threw it on the side of a truck and a magnet. And by the way, you got a really good deal because you only partially wrapped your trucks and your team doesn't wear a uniform. Like all of these things. And I'm like, you're missing it. You're missing it. Right. So we have to be foundationally focused on building a brand and a look and a feel and an engagement and a reputation that people like, know, love, and trust. And so when we do that, we don't always have to rely. The key word here is rely on coupons, flashy ads, and one time promos. We don't have to rely on those things. Those things now become accompaniments, right, to our brand. And those are short term wins, which we need. Hey, listen, I've lived a life. I worked in my family's heating and air conditioning company. I work alongside my sister and brother-in-law in this pest control company. I work alongside a really good friend who's running a roofing company. Y'all, I live and eat and breathe home service company every single day, from ground up to very successful companies in the multi-million dollars. I get to see all these different clients. I understand you got to have leads to win stuff. So then let's build a short-term strategy. The tricky part is you can't have one or the other, you have to have both. Right? So long-term growth happens when people recognize your name, they trust that you're going to give good service, and they feel confident about choosing you again and again and again, and referring you to their friends, to their families, in those community groups. We must build raving fans about how we made our customers feel when they experienced us. So if you're listening again, if you're listening right now, I want you to think of the first thing that people are going to interact with is your mass media play. So things that reach the masses, right? Billboards, radio, TV, even truck wraps and things like that. So many your market is experiencing those brands. And so when that happens, you have to know that is your first like visual interaction, right? Then your CSRs and your social media and your dispatchers, all of those things have to also reflect. So if you've got this really fun brand and then they call your office and, oh, Sally Sue, she's like, thanks for calling Crystal's Heating and Air, and does not sound like, hi, thank you for calling Crystal's Heating and Air. But instead, they sound like they're going to slap your hand with a ruler because you're at boarding school. Like, no one wants that interaction anymore. We want positivity and we want joy and we want happiness and we want to be quick and we want to be efficient and we want to be thorough without losing the localized feel of who we are as a company. And so long-term growth again happens when people recognize your name, they trust your service, and they feel confident to choose you again and again and refer you. And so you have to take a whole look at the entire customer journey with your company. Let everybody throw data at you left and right. This CTR and CTA and all these numbers, right? The life LTV, lifetime value, they're going to throw all these numbers at you. And most of you just need to sit down and focus on, number one, you don't have a good brand, and the customer experience with your company is terrible. If we could fix those things, then we can start worrying about your average tickets, and we can worry about the lifetime value of a customer, and we can worry about churn. We can worry about all those things. But you got to pick a lane. So the other day I did have this client. It was a wonderful client, and they do great things, but I had to redirect because they were so hyper focused on things that didn't really matter. And I was like, well, listen, there are 100 leads here. Your booking rate is 30%. Now, some of y'all are listening like, what you say, 30%? I would never let that happen. But what we had was 30%. Well, they just had a baby. But okay, so listen, I'm all for empathetic. I'm a whole bleeding heart over here in East Texas, right? I love people and I want to support people. I love to watch people take a hand up and be a killer in their position. I love it. I live for it. But at the same time, like, you got a company to run. I had to learn that lesson the hard way, and some of you do too. You can't help people, you can't care about people more than they care about themselves. Right. So, like, you got to really focus on it. Do I have the right people in the right seats? That's a whole nother episode for a whole nother day. But it does impact your customer's experience. So there's three ways that we can build a trust first brand, right? Number one, we're going to craft a brand that feels unique and personal. Authenticity. Authenticity, friends. Build an authentic brand, or let Lemon Seed help you build an authentic brand. It needs to be a true reflection of how you want the community to feel about you. So once you determine that one adjective. So do you want people to feel playful and fun? Do you want them to feel traditional? Do you want them to feel very professional? Do you want to feel very high end? Do you want to feel very like, okay, I'm an education company? Or are you edgy? What can we say about you that we can then depict visually? So listen, y'all, I can't graphically design anything. Emily is a genius at this stuff. I I can like verbalize my idea, but I can't draw, I can't write out pretty fonts. I for sure don't even get me in Adobe, right, to start designing stuff. But Emily's skill set in our graphic design team, like their skill set is amazing of like taking your words and making it into something that visually depicts those thoughts. So that's what a brand is. So if you're just like, well, my cousin Joe picked out a good font and threw that up on the side of my van, good for you. But what got you here won't get you there. So it's time that we craft something that feels very unique and it is emotionally appealing to who you are. Our operations manager, Andrea, she hired one of our designers on the side to help she and her husband's car shop. They do these really cool like car modifications. Anyone that knows me knows I do not need to be talking about cars, but you know what? This is a good point for me to tell you. It did not matter that I don't really understand what a coyote motor is. I have no idea. But Andrea, our operations manager, will talk to you about the coyote motor and the exhaust and all the different parts of cars, right? So, but she knew that she wanted to get her husband a new brand look and feel. And so our graphic designer took her and her husband's words and made this beautiful logo, this beautiful brand, with all of these accompaniments of how to bring this idea that they had in their head to life. And they were both emotional. She and her husband were emotional about this brand because it was a reflection of her father-in-law who had passed away and all the things that he had brought down. And the reason that I thought about it is I got ready to record this podcast this morning and she comes walking out and she has on a Red's Speed Shop t-shirt this morning. And listen, it's because she emotionally and her husband Sam, he emotionally connected to this brand. And our designer Cody killed it. He killed it. He did a great job of listening, and it's unique. Nobody else can be Red Speed Shop the way that they're Red Speed Shop because it is emotionally and visually a depiction of who they want to be and known for. It's got this fun little nostalgic kick and feel. It is super cool. And more than anything, it is unique and it is authentic. So, does your logo reflect your company values? Could your brand belong to anyone or is it distinctly associated with you? Right. And so you really have to think through when you're thinking through branding, some of the things that we talk to our clients about is like, tell us, just start talking to us about your company. Use like what is your local connections? Is your company built around your grandpa? Is it built around your uncle? Is it built around you? Do you love dogs? Do you like to go canoeing? Do you hike? Do you play golf? Do you smoke cigars? Do you like whiskey? Are you known for your belly laugh? Do you have a long beard? Do you have bushy eyebrows? Do you always wear sunglasses? Do you always have a pocket watch? I mean, guys, this can go on. Okay, I can go on for hours, but there is something about you that you really could build a cool brand around, right? Maybe it's a mascot or a character. Right now, listen, you want to talk mascots? I'm your girl. Love it. And the reason that I do, you can go look at any company that I'm directly associated with or have part ownership in, it has a mascot because it just makes it easier to market. I'm not going to lie. It makes it easier to market. It makes it easier to build brands around. It makes it so much easier to do lots of things around. And so I am passionate about mascots or characters, but I can get that same excitement around cool colors or a cool icon. And listen, graphic designers are masters at helping you bring your vision to life if you will just talk, right? Unique taglines, unique brand voice, meaning Do you have a very like sassy way that you say things? Are you a female owned business and you want to lean into that whole female vibe? Are you a veteran and we want to talk about God bless America? Like where do we want to go? Because you know where we can go anywhere we flipping want to go. Anywhere we want to go. And you know what? I get this call all the time. Well, it's starting to be where everyone looks the same. Well, here's good news. Not with us, right? We have figured out that every unique little piece that we can throw out there is standing out, right? So when someone sees your truck or they hear your ad or they experience a sign or something that you put up, they immediately know it is you. It is your company. So number one, craft a brand that feels unique and personal. Number two, be present before you're needed, aka dig that well before you're thirsty, right? So a lot of you know I'm a Christian. I actually heard that when my pastor was speaking one day, and he was like, you know, when it's too late to start depending on the Lord, when you fully have no other choice but to lean on the Lord, it's not too late, but it's extremely hard to lean on the Lord in a time when it's tragedy has struck you, right? Or just devastation. So his whole point of saying this was like, if you were studying your Bible and preparing yourself and equipping your mind with scriptures and things that you can speak over yourself or over your family or over your friends when things are bad, but you have to start doing that now. You have to prepare. And so I just have brought that same message over into my marketing side of life, where be present before you're actually needed. So most home service companies they base all of their marketing on reactive marketing. Lord, let me get that together again. They base all of their advertising tactics off of a reactive marketing strategy, meaning you're waiting on something to break for someone before you interact with them. And like, guys, absolutely not. We have to start being present before we're needed. Shaking hands and kissing babies, petting dogs. That's what we got to do, right? That's why proactive visibility is so important. Just start being where the people are. Start going and doing booths and shows and festivals and all types of events. So if there's a balloon festival, be at it. If there's a summer fest, be at it. If there's a fireworks in the park, be at it. If there's a 5K, be at the finish line. If there is a dog parade, be there. Especially those of you that have dogs in your mascot. Hello, be the sponsor of the dog parade, right? Guys, these things are not rocket science, but if you show up before the customer needs you, they are engaging with you, they're building a relationship with you, and you are settling in their mind and spirit, right? So show up before the customer needs you. Sponsoring youth sports. And if y'all never heard me go ham on this, you're missing out. So I'm having to make this just a little section. I have other podcast episodes about really dominating the community space, but sponsoring youth sports, schools, events, or festivals. You know what? We wanted to feed the teachers today. I'm there. Every teacher's going to get a free 3 months on our membership plan. If they're already a member, I extend them 3 months. I'm giving out cool stuff like no matter how you slice it, Crystal's Heating and Air Conditioning Company is the best. I'm serving pizza and giving out pizza cutters. You know why? Not that I think everybody loves pizza, but I think everybody loves the idea that I connected all the dots for them. Like, and they'll be laughing and talking about those pizza rollers. Oh my gosh, that's so creative. They're so creative. I don't care, friends. I'm making reaction. I'm shaking hands and kissing babies up there. You know what else I did? I spent $300 and had all of these like teacher prizes, like fancy pencil sharpeners and all these dry erase marker sets and some cool things that I didn't want them to have to go buy themselves. And I drew names left and right. And y'all, it is game changer. It is connections that you're making. Youth sports, again, y'all have heard me say this before. If you're only putting your logo on a banner, that's my little cardinal sin. Like, stop it right now. Do more than put your logo. Invite the team to your office to take pictures in front of your vans. Give them 4 cases of Powerade, right? Wear their shirt. Have a send-off parade. Let your vans lead them out of town. Like, you can do all kinds of stuff, friends. And really, the more fun, the better. Because no, I don't want a 10-year-old knowing my name, but I want their parents and grandparents knowing my name. And when I take care of their kid, it builds a relationship, right? Also, festivals, be there. Attend community markets and block parties and things where you can be out there. Maybe pick one Saturday a month to be at the farmer's market. And you know what? You're the cooling station. You've just got cooling fans going. You're handing out fans, shaking hands and kissing babies, and then buying produce at that particular one. So host giveaways, little webinars on your social media page. Like, hey, here's your winter prep tips. Hey, guys, I know it's hurricane season. It's Crystal at Crystal's Heating and Air. And I know that we are all prepping for hurricane season. Do you have your generator? Here's what you can do. Side note, here's what generators can't service. Like, all these things. Or, hey guys, it's Crystal at Spot On Pest Control. Did you know right now mosquitoes are swarming worse than ever? We have a mosquito spray that blah, 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 right? Tell the business, tell people what you do. Leave behind more than just a business card, right? Leave behind more than just a little ratty brochure that's a technician dug out of their van. Let's get deeper. Let's leave behind a koozie, a magnet, a chip clip, something. Build familiarity, and familiarity leads to first call status. Meaning, when I walk in my house, it's 105 degrees. I'm thinking of that dang chip clip, that magnet, that time Sailor Matt kissed and my toddler and took a picture. Not kissed, that's weird, sorry, but held the toddler and took a picture. I'm thinking about the time that Johnny from Spot On Pest Control was at the opening day of baseball season and sponsored the photo booth, right? It's y'all, you're just there. And your expectation is constantly creating brand awareness. So if you're one of those jagaloons that loves to go, okay, well, I spent $300 sponsoring this and I didn't sell one system. You're not. You're not going to sell one system that day because of that. You're not. You have to understand that this is a long-term strategy. This is a building strategy. And so you can be mad if you want to, but listen, let me tell you what happens. Companies with a good brand roll into a new market, spend about 12 to 14% in marketing, open up a business right in your area, and give them 18 months, and they've ran over the top of you with brand awareness. And you're going to wonder what the heck happened. And I'm going to tell you, they outworked you on the branding side. They out guerrilla marketed you. They out bootstrapped you in the market because you were like, I'm not going to no festivals. Here's the good news, owners, you don't have to go, but then deploy a position that you can go, right? So let that number 2 was be present before you're needed. And number 3, match your customer experience to your brand promise. A strong logo means nothing if your techs show up late, the CSR is rude, everybody smells like cigarette smoke. We got chewing tobacco. I'm from Texas, so maybe I'm a little biased to that, but you got chewing tobacco. You got all this stuff going on. They park and like 4 McDonald's cups falls out, right? Or Chick-fil-A, Whataburger, whatever little place they're stopping. Guys, you have to look with eagle eyes, brand protection goggles on your eyeballs, and look at your entire market that you are servicing and how they are interacting with your people every single day, because that is your brand. Your brand goes so much deeper than some logo somebody gave you off a shelf. It is definitely a part of who you are from start to finish. From the let me tell you one thing that'll drive me nuts. Don't you let me have an old billboard graphics up that are sun faded and tattered and torn. I will call that company so fast to be like, get it down off of your board. Because think about that. You're driving and you've seen this billboard, but then it gets whipped and torn and sun faded. You're gonna be like, are they broke? That's what people think. They don't have any money to replace that. Why would they let that look like that? Yeah, why would you? Why would you let that look like that? It's a reflection of your brand. Do you have trucks that the paint's peeling all over the place? I understand that you might not can fix every single one of them, but by God, I would be fixing them as soon as I could. I'd be doing something because again, if you drive up and everything's ratty tat, and you're letting your technicians not look fresh and clean shaven, and when I say clean shaven, I don't mean they can't have a beard, but do they look like they just hiked the Appalachian Trail for 3 months? Right? Like, are we just scraggly? Or do we look like we have our stuff together? We're clean, neat, organized. That's what makes a part of your brand, right? Every part of it, friendly phone service, branded trucks, nice uniforms, the invoicing that you use, timely communication. They get their emails, they get texts. You're updating your social media, follow up surveys, and thank you notes, and thank you gifts, and leave behinds. Your actions have to reinforce your marketing and branding. Consistency builds trust, and trust turns into referrals and reviews. We have got to shift our mind. I don't care what type of lead funnel I'm using, referrals, reviews, mass media, PPC, GLSA, email newsletters, marketing at local events. I don't care because I have all of it pumping at the same time. So ask yourself these things. Is your brand unique and recognizable to you? Are you visible in your local community, not just online? Not just online. So a website that no one goes to is like if a tree falls in the forest, do you actually hear it fall? No one cares. So people will say, well, I have this offer on my website. No one just goes to your HVAC website and looks around. No one just goes to your pest control website and looks around. You have to have things that are driving things there. So you've got to get visible. And then does your customer experience reflect exactly what you stand for? Do you tolerate? You deserve what you tolerate, right? So if not, start there. So listen, guys, it's easy to chase clicks and quick conversions, but the home service companies that thrive are the ones that build a real reputation, not just a marketing funnel. Branding is the long game, but it's the one that lasts because when someone's AC dies or their sink leaks or the bugs are out of control, they don't really always scroll through every single option. They call the company that they know. Remember, they're looking for your name. They want to remember your name. The ones they've seen, the one they trust. And let's let that be you. All right, guys, thanks for joining me for another episode of From the Yellow Chair. I was on my soapbox today, but if this sparks some ideas for you or some alarms in your head, like, oh my gosh, I don't know what we do, this podcast is sponsored by Lemon Seed Marketing. We are designed to help home service contractors build great brands, create really good strategies and advertising techniques that eventually build long-term success for you. And so we are here to walk you through that process side by side. We don't just give you a logo and walk away. We're going to help you through the whole entire process. We can't wait to meet you in person and hopefully talk to you again. And if we can help you, email us at hello@lemonseedmarketing.com or just go to our website, lemonseedmarketing.com. Talk soon.